Then what? Then
Bro,
what? Bro, I had to get the boxing gloves off, bro.
what is the expectation? Because I feel like genuinely you lot like I don't want to make this we're just shitting on West Ham type of show together today, innit? Yeah, but
Mm.
what was your expectations going into the season? You lot killed David Moyes. I think you know what, you lot sacking David Moyes is on par with us sacking Tuchel. He brought you guys a European trophy at the end of the day. You guys thought you flew too close to the sun. That's the truth. You got gassed. Oh, we got this big stadium now. We're European champions. Oh yeah, let's go bring in a Spanish tactico, Lopetegui, whatever the fuck his name is, and you gassed it. You guys got gassed. Now you've resorted to Graham Potter. I don't think he's the man for you. Look, from time David Moyes has left and what he's done at Everton, he's done an amazing job. Fair enough, he lost last week, this week as well. Fair enough, it is what it is, yeah. You're both on the same part, so I can't even really use that to dig you. But from what he's done at Everton and what Graham Potter and Lopetegui combined have done at West Ham, it's not even comparable. I don't. So what when you're going into this season, generally, what's the expectation? What's a good season right now for West Ham fans?
Honestly, a good season right now, it depends on what. Like for me, I think anything finishing below anywhere in Europe, if you're in the London Stadium, is unacceptable. Because why are you moving out Upton Park then? What's the point of having like no expectation moving here? That's my whole thing. It's been like that from the start. From the start, because like we were promised go to the next level. I show us that, but we know what the ownership's like. And my whole thing is with David Moyes, I've kept the same energy with every single manager. Once I see my team get pummed, I'm not gonna just sit there and say nothing about it. Like that's my thing with it. I can appreciate you and put you high standard and still call you a legend, but after that, you can't just do anything you want after that. You don't get the free reign. But ultimately, at the same time, if we keep doing these arguments over managers every single time, we're taking the issue off the real issue. We're taking all the thing off the real issue, which is the ownership. Which is the ownership. We're going to be in the same path no matter what. Hiring managers or free agents all the time. Yeah, it's still Sullivan, bro.
What, Marinus Brady and the man there, yeah?
Yeah. They're still owners. They're still the owners. They're still the owners, bro. Everyone knows David Sullivan's history. Running sex shops, bro. Sex shops, bro. Like, Karen Brady's more known for The Apprentice.
Yeah.
The Apprentice. Like, the Portuguese,
I didn't know he had. What do you mean sex shops? Like he's running a little red light district.
Yeah. They're running their own little prostitution, little schemes and that. That's what they're doing. That's what the Golden Sullivan were doing.
Allegedly.
So allegedly, but even the Sporting Lisbon owner back in the day when we tried to go for William Carvalho, called Golden Sullivan the Dildo Brothers, and that's been their name ever since. Even the Portuguese people are clowning on us. They've been clowning on us for years, just because of that deal. Because they try and buy on the cheap all the time. What's the point? You're going Harrods, but you're trying to do Specsavers money. That's what you're doing. You're trying to do Poundland money. This is what you're doing. You're doing Sainsbury's money. You ain't got the budget to be stepping in these shops, bro. Like, you ain't got the budget.
This is the thing, yeah, bro. I get it with the ownership thing. Trust me, I've been fighting against Clear Lake for a minute, right? Like, I'll be honest, like I know what it's like, innit? But they've given the fans what they want. You guys wanted Moyes sacked. I got a lot of West Ham bridges. At the time, they were saying he has to go. Like, fuck Moyes, I'm done with him. All of this. I'm sure, I don't know, but I can assume you was part of that batch, no? You thought your grass was greener on the other side. So now you've got what you wanted. You made the sandwich. This is like going to Subway and then saying, "Oh, Subway shit. The sandwich is shit." You made the sandwich. So now, why are you upset with the ownership for where you guys are now? You should have not got rid of David Moyes.
I think we just should have hired a better manager. I didn't want Lopetegui in the first place. I'm very much on the thing of like, cool, sacking Moyes, cool, but I was very much no to Lopetegui straight away. Like, cool, I'll give you the time. But as soon as we faced you lot, funny enough, that like the start of last season, I was 4 games in. I was like, I knew this guy was a fucking fraud. This guy went man to man with you, man. Stuck Alvarez and Rodriguez on Jackson and Palmer, and we got ripped. I was very much of the person like, nah, don't get me Lopetegui. Don't get me Lopetegui. This guy doesn't have an identity as a manager. The name, again, as you said, the name, the tactico aspect, the Spanish guy. I think that's what people looked at too much. And the problem is, our owners only hire managers that are out of work. We don't pay compensation. So they didn't even sack him. They let him go on a free in a contract because they didn't want to sack him because it would have cost money. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's always on the cheap, bro.
Do you know when I knew you guys were fucked when you got Lopetegui? And I can't, forgive me if I'm saying his name wrong as well, yeah. when you guys started putting it out there, oh, ex Real Madrid manager. Ex brother, he didn't manage a game at Real Madrid, you know. If I'm not, no, was it Real Madrid or Spain? Sorry, ex Spain manager. He didn't manage a game at Spain. He got sacked before he even managed a game, or it was something dodgy like that. He's not like the guy that you got thought he was. So when I saw that, I said, "Yeah, you guys are in for a ride." To be honest with you, I think last summer you did actually have a pretty decent window on paper. I remember a lot of Chelsea fans were actually being cucks to you guys at the time. You brought in Somerville, you brought in that striker,
Fulcrum,
and that. Yeah, you had a pretty decent run. Wait, give me a second. You had a pretty decent run in it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
so
we had a few players.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm surprised it turned out that way last season. In terms of Graham Potter, I'll be honest with you, there's no turning this around. He's not that guy, and on top of that, he isn't a mentality monster. I don't know if you guys have experienced this with him in terms of his press conferences, where it's like, oh, the players did well, but we conceded 2 goals and that changed the game. What the fuck what do you mean? That's the shit that he'd say to us. Like, oh yeah, we was dominating until they scored, and once they scored, the game changed. What are you talking about? Is that not how football works? Like, he's them type of gaffers. Like, he isn't the mentality monster. He doesn't. I like to call it caonas. He ain't got the caonas you need. Like, he's not the guy that's gonna. If you're in a crisis mode, he ain't taking you out of there. You know what I'm saying? So
100.
I just don't know where you go from here. Like Kudus, for example, he's gone to Spurs. Criminal, by the way. The fact that Sullivan's out here doing business with Spurs is crazy to me, bro. I'd rather make my man sit in the under 21s and play PL2 football for a year before I'm doing business with Spurs. I can't believe I saw like West Ham sell their best player to Spurs the same year you lot finished 17th in the league or 16th in the league. What the fuck? What's going on? That's mad.
Bro, I don't understand, because this guy is like, oh, I don't have a good relationship with Levy. I like money and all this. Like, I sell like this or whatever. So we can sell Declan Rice with a year left for 100 million, but you can't get more than 55 for Kudus. You can't get more than 55 of Tottenham as well. They made an excuse, by the way, and said that because of the Madueke deal, the João Pedro deal, what Mbeumo might go for, it was an acceptable deal. My problem wasn't him going. My problem was the actual value of it, because he wanted to leave. So cool. Here's where it is. But like
him leaving isn't an issue. Yeah, the price. But to be honest with you, I think if you were selling elsewhere, the price isn't that deep. But because you're selling to Spurs, yeah, I think you should have taxed. You should have made an example. I want 8 EMs. You should have done what Brentford did for Mbeumo to United, where it's like, you're squeezing this. We're not accepting nothing. I don't care if he wants to leave. This is our valuation. This is the same thing they're doing to Newcastle right now with Wisa. That's how you're supposed to sell, especially if it's to a rival. You sold your best player to Spurs the same year they won a European trophy, and you finished 17th. Just like forget all of forget the 3 points and the league table and all of this bullshit. It just comes down to West Ham United as a club, your ethos, your culture of the club. What are you becoming when you're selling your best player to your biggest rivals on a cut price? That's mad. And then you don't even bring in a marquee replacement. Who's this replacement? Who have you guys?
We don't have one.
You don't have one, innit? That's mad.
No.
That is mad. I'm sorry, bro. That is mad. This is the thing, yeah. I don't know what's happened to West Ham over the years where you man have become soft. Like I said, my oldest brother's a West Ham fan. My closest brethren, I'm in a group chat with my closest brethren. They're all West Ham. One of them's West Brom. We've known each other since we was kids, bro. I'm the only Chelsea fan there. I'm actually locked in with West Ham fans. I don't know when you guys became this soft. It's mad. These are things you guys should be outside of that training ground in Dagenham right now, causing a protest, mate, saying something. What's going on? But it's, oh no, well, I don't know. You're getting linked to players that you ain't gonna sign. I know you're linked to some midfielder in League 1 apparently. Yeah. I don't know if that's like, I don't know. Like the fact that Sukic is still in the squad, if I'm not mistaken, that's mad. These are guys that should have been gone time ago. That time ago. I don't know, bro. I'll be honest. And before you know it, Bowen's gone too, innit? This is the thing. It's a World Cup year as well.
Like, if we get relegated with like, he's gone. He's gone. And the problem is he's made himself loyal to the club. That's the problem because he signed like 6-7 year contract, and it's going to be very difficult to get a deal out of him unless we get relegated. So he's messed himself up here with his own career of going off sentimental value, which is a very stupid thing to do in football. There's no point doing that in football. There's no actual value in being sentimental. You need to upgrade your career based on what's good for you. I'm surprised people like if I was Wan-Bissaka, I would have fucked off. I had a great season here. All my teammates are moving mad. If I was Tadiba, I would have tried to fuck off, tried to finesse my way out of a deal. I would have done that. Like, these are only good players, really. Like, Diouf, good signing. But where is our Kudus replacement? No, just get Callum Wilson on a free. What sane club does that? Callum Wilson's been mocking our club for years. And I saw him cross a ball into Fulkirk, bro. It's Pete and Baz up front. We've got Pete and Baz up front. This is what we've got. We've got Pete and Baz up front. It's ridiculous. Like, if you were trying to lower the age of the squad, you could bring me Callum Wilson. Make it make sense. This ownership, like, we threw coins at these men in 2018. If it gets dark on Friday, I can see, maybe not a replica of that, but I can see it getting mad at the stadium because I'm going to be there. When West Ham fans are hostile, you know this. When West Ham fans are hostile, it's a long day.
Mad. It's mad. Bro, let's actually, like, cool. What are the bright spots of your team? What do you feel like you have some sort of span that you can build with that can take you back to where you want to be in terms of European football, whether it's Conference League, Europa, etc.? I just realized 3-4 years ago, you lot was in a Europa semi-final, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we was. Yeah, against
Frankfurt. I was at the game when you guys faced Lyon in the quarterfinal at home. Yeah, the first leg. I was there.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like, how have you guys fallen like this so fast? Because I see Edson Alvarez, he's highly rated. He's one of the better players. Paqueta's a bit inconsistent. He's one of your better players. That just reminds me. Look at the little dodgy tactics Sullivan did to get rid of Paqueta, yeah, to make sure Paqueta doesn't go to Manchester City, putting him on these gambling fines and all of this dodgy investigations. That was an inside job, by the way. Every single time the Man City links came, oh yeah, investigations. Let's not forget as well, you're sponsored by Betway. It was all dodgy. That was all dodgy.
Yeah.
But he sells Kudus for a cut price to his rivals. Makes no sense. But you got Paqueta, you got Edson Alvarez you can work with. Somerville, I don't know what's going on with him. Is he fit?
He's injured.
I don't know.
He's injured.
Fucking hell. Obviously Bowen.
Even Edson Alvarez, I'm not.
Well, you got one Brazilian.
He's injured as well. Yeah, Guilherme was injured as well. He's injured as well. So we'd have one winger fit. We have one winger fit. That's the problem. I think the players to work with for me is Hermansen, Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo, Diouf, Paqueta, and Bowen. I'd say those are the main ones. We don't have a midfield. I don't even rate Alvarez like that. I'll be real. Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Rodriguez, them man of shit. They're slow as fuck. They can't progress the ball. They can't tackle. None of these men can progress the ball. None of these men can. I've never seen such a slow midfield. Like, genuinely, we're playing at the Olympic Stadium. Pistorius had more of a show on his crooked leg than Alvarez and Ward-Prowse and them, man. Like, you might as well have a prosthetic leg. Like, Ward-Prowse, I can't lie, I don't know how you can move that slow for a midfielder. I don't know how you managed to get away with that.
That's when he signed Ward-Prowse, though. He was gassed. I remember sometimes. You guys, our fan base is so weird. Like, you gas every signing. I've never seen you guys sign a player on you, man. Callum Wilson, yeah, because he's giving you guys a lot of shit over. And he's a free transfer. But every time you spend money on a player, you guys gas them to the moon. I remember that James Ward-Prowse gas. It was like, oh yeah, he's good. I remember all of this. He's gonna be playing for England now. All of this.
Yeah. You're spot on. This is the problem, though. You know what West Ham fans do? They hype up the signing, and then literally one game, 5 minutes, one mistake, he's fucking shit. He's the worst player I've ever seen.
That's Chelsea, bro. I said down. You signed a player, we comps, you put them in all the combined 11s. Yeah, this guy's the guy that's gonna take us where we need to go. One stinker, and it's a shit show, bro. I don't know.
What was the main like red flags you saw in Graham Potter when he was at Chelsea? Like, what was the thing that was like, nah, fuck this guy. I want him out. He's the worst manager I've seen at Chelsea.
Number one for me, yeah, mentally, like, he's just soft, bro. I was hearing him just talk in pressers, like very early on, like what's your standard? That's, you know, when you get unveiled as a manager and it's like, where do you see yourself doing with this club? And he's never talked about winning. It was always we're trying to build something, or we're trying to build something. We're trying those type of words where I'm so used to having the elites, the Jose Mourinho's, the Ancelotti's, the Thomas Tuchel's, Conte's who come in and say, I demand titles. Thomas Tuchel in his first press conference said to us, I wanted to make this team impossible to beat. That's the first thing he ever said when he addressed our fan base. This guy came in and said, "Oh, we're just trying to build something positive." Mind you, we was champions of the world at the time he joined us. Do you know what I'm saying? So that was a crazy drop in mentality. Then it's like the performances were lackluster. We had a month where we only scored 1 goal. It was against you guys, actually, funnily enough. Ciao Felix, I think. We had a month where we only scored 1 goal. That was our goal of the month by default. It's football. You can't score. It looks nice. You might do little 1-2s, horizontals, and the tactics look nice. 1-2s, like it's a tactico's dream. That's when I started learning these little buzzwords like pockets and half spaces and zone 12 and all of that shit. I'll be honest, bro. I'm used to, as a Chelsea fan, bro. I'm from Essex as well. Man's played Echo League. Big up Dagenham United. Big up Euro Dagenham. Man's played Echo League, bro. I know. Put 10 man behind the ball. Kick it long to the big man. Drogba will hold it off. He will lay it off to Lampard, and we win and close the shop. Stop on John Obi Mikel in the 89th minute and close the shop. That's what I know. So when I'm now Graham Potter's coming with all this fucking tactics, and I'm hearing, oh, in the pockets, and the half spaces, and zone 9, and the 2-10s, and 2-8s, and 2-8s and 2-10s can't work together because the system's not balanced. And what the fuck are you talking about, blood? That's not what I know. Kick it long to the big man, hold the ball up, and we get a goal, fam, and close the shop. So when he's come in and it's like, I'm hearing every excuse under the sun about why we're not scoring goals. Then he gets himself the January window. I want to remind you, Chelsea fans now shit on that whole January window now. At the time, in December, we signed Nkunku. Fair enough, he joined later on. We signed João Felix on a loan. We brought in Enzo Fernandez. We brought in Malo Gusto, who joined a bit later. We brought in Mikhail Mudryk. At the time, Brad Shaw come in. At the time, we was like, yes, this is enough for us to turn our season around and probably win the Champions League. That's what we was thinking as a fan base. He did nothing but passing around. And then it's the pressers after the games. Oh, but we tried. It's just for some reason the system and the goals and the lads gave everything. That's the one. That's the one for me. The lads gave everything every single time. That was like his one. You just knew that was coming somehow. You would do these presses and but I'm not sure. But the lads gave everything though. The lads gave, like, fuck off, man. That guy is shit, man. There's people that I genuinely just don't want him to succeed, and he's one of them, man. He's a cuck. He's a cuck, man.
I fully hear that. Like, so now with Chelsea, now obviously you got Enzo Maresca, champions of the world, just won the Conference League. Like, what do you make of your current manager? Because I know you're very like back the gaffer sort of thing, the sort of guy, but like there's always like a divide on Maresca. I feel like every time he does something mad, it's like people go for his head. Every time he does something good, he's being lauded up as the next whatever. So I don't know what's the middle ground. What do you think?
I think to be honest with you, he started the season very well last season. As well as that, he had a very, very hard job coming in hindsight from taking over Poch. Just in terms of how toxic the club was. We finished 12th, finished 6th, missed out on Champions League football 2 years in a row, first time in our lifetime, 2 years in a row, no trophy. That's the first time in my lifetime as well I've had to experience that. So it was already a mess. A lot of the players weren't rated. He wasn't rated. He was looked at as a championship manager. There was a protest the day he got hired. I went to the protest at the time. It was so that's just like what he's walked into. Started the season pretty well. I think in December we were second on the table, 1 point off. If we beat Everton on Christmas Eve, we would have been top of the table for Christmas. So then the dip in form came in, and that's when I started. But I had question marks over him because our expectations was, I'm a Chelsea fan. For me, I always want to win the league every year. There's a lot of like Chelsea fans who like to do the whole top 4 thing. I'm a trophies guy. I don't think there's a difference between finishing second and finishing. I'll break it down in 2 tiers, innit? And finishing second and finishing fifth right now, you're in the Champions League football either way. So I don't, they're the same to me. And then finishing, as well as that, finishing second and finishing 17th means fuck all. You both didn't win nothing. So I want to win the league all the time, but everyone was going on the top four stuff. It looked like we wasn't going to get top four. When it mattered, he showed up. We needed a Conference League at least. He got that. He pissed away the 2 cups I wasn't happy about, Newcastle and Brighton in the FA Cup. I wasn't happy about that all. Newcastle went on to win the Carabao, so fair enough. Then the Club World Cups come, and I'll be honest, he's won me over there, man. I do see there's a gaffer in there. I'll be honest with you, I do, but I'm somebody who's seen so many managers come and go like that have won big things for us. So even it doesn't take a lot, and this is a thing with Chelsea fans. It doesn't take a lot for Chelsea as a fan base to be like, fuck this manager, on to the next. So don't be surprised if things don't go well this season and the majority of the fan base are like, oh, fuck this guy, because we've done it. We've seen Mourinho win us 3 Premier League titles and we fucked him off twice. We've seen, Di Matteo win us a Champions League and we fucked him off. Like, it's nothing new. However, from what he's done for me in that Club World Cup, I was there in person. He's got my back in this season. I'm not going to lie to you, but it does come with the expectation that we do well in it. I want to challenge for the league. I want to at least win the Champions League or the league, one of them. That's where my standards. The amount of money we've spent as well is this is what we should be demanding. I don't want anything less. So I'm okay with him. I'm okay with him right now.
So a lot of people sometimes when they like say that have high standards, it's like any trophy is fine. So for you, it's like it's the certain type of trophy that matters as well based on how much you spend. So like the Premier League and the Champions League, like you gotta take like mega serious, of course you do. But like, would you be happy with top 4 and a domestic cup? Would that be acceptable?
Fuck that. That's an Arsenal season. That's an Arsenal under Arsene Wenger season where the man was still calling for him to get sacked. So do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's going on there with like the top teams. Standards have absolutely dropped to the floor. Like, and it's a thing where it's not even just, I wouldn't even say the top teams though, because even you lot, 5 years ago, if you was told, for example, 5 years ago, when you was in that Europa League semi-final, I think you finished 5th in the league, 6th in the league that season?
Yeah, 6th, 6th.
You finished 6th in the league, yeah? And then you got told in 2025, you lot were going to finish, I don't know, 9th or 8th in the league this year, and people would be happy with it. How you'd be shocked.
I would be,
That's how we like when we had Thomas Tuchel. If someone told us we finished top 4 and we win an FA Cup or a Carabao, bro, do you think anyone would be happy with that? That's the bare minimum. That's the thing. That's the bare minimum. But us as a fan base these days, it's like our standards are in the fucking bin, bro. And this is what we fight for every day. This is when we say make Chelsea great again. It has so many meanings, bro. But it starts with the fan base. When we're asking, like, I want to win the league, I want to win the Champions League. When you start asking or demanding for these things, do you know what they turn around and say to you? You're deluded. Oh, you're so deluded. Oh, bro, what are you talking about? We're Chelsea. They're top 4 and a domestic cup. That's an Arsene Wenger season under Arsenal when they were asking for his head. When troops and them man were moving mad outside the Emirates regularly. Wenger out. That was top 4. He finished 2nd. If I'm not mistaken, he finished 2nd in 2016 under when Leicester won the league, and he won a domestic cup, and that man wanted his head. So why am I happy with top 4 in a domestic cup? What's top 4? When these players retire and it's all said and done, do you reckon these lot are gonna sit back with their kids and say, guys, let me tell you the story about when we finished in the top 4 in 2026? Who gives a shit? Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, it's fucked, man. I'm sorry, bro. This stuff pisses me off, bro.
No, I feel like it makes it even worse when, if your target is Champions League football, but you as a football club have won the Champions League twice anyway, and you feel like you're not in a position to either compete for it or win it, it's kind of pointless. And that's the problem now. Like, you find out with Arsenal anyway, like, even like the top 4 and domestic cup, that's better than them right now. Their standards have dropped, even though they feel like this is their Arsenal back. That's what they're on now. They're on that. They're on 2nd all the time. They don't care next season and that. But with you guys now, you must follow. Yeah, go on.
No, go on. Finish your sentence, bro. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say you guys are in a position now, finishing the Champions League football, to maybe go on a challenge for the Champions League. You may be underdogs for that. And I feel like
Yeah,
when your back's against the wall, that's when you're at your best in the cup competitions.
yeah, I think we're a cup team. I've been saying it. I think in terms of us winning I think it's more likely for us to win the Champions League than to win the league with this, the way we're presently constructed. We've been a cup team. Like, being a cup team is our DNA. You know, a lot of people talk about we never had history under Roman, because we won one league title before him. But a lot of people forget we was always a cup team. Our cup team was our bread and butter, from winning the Cup Winners' Cup to winning the FA Cup with Hullet as our player manager, to Vialli taking over, winning the Cup Winners' Cup against Real Madrid in the final, to winning the Euro Super Cup as well later, once again against Real Madrid. We've always been a cup team in our DNA, even under Thomas Tuchel. We wasn't challenging for the league. We haven't challenged for the league since 2017. A real title race challenging for the league. We have not done that since 2017. Since then, we've won the FA Cup, we've won the Europa League, we've won the Champions League, we've won the Club World Cup twice. We've won. Do you know what I'm saying? We're actually winning. We've won it all, basically, barring the Carabao. So I look at us as a cup team. When it comes to the Champions League push, I think that's where we're gonna actually see the best of this team, because I think we struggle against the low blocks as well. In the Champions League against PSG, for example, it's much more open. There's high lines. You get to play a bit more freely. So we're going to see a lot of those style of footballs where we see ourselves like more comfortable in terms of in transition with Neto, Palmer, all of that type of stuff. I think I have very high hopes for the Champions League. I think we can win the Champions League for sure, and I expect us to even to touch the Champions League final. I think that's where we will see Chelsea at the best this season. In terms of the league, this is where now I want to. It's like a mentality test, because it's the low block issue and breaking down all of these barriers and that. I think the way you guys set up against us, for example, on Fridays, the recipe to beat us or get a result out of us is pretty simple. Just close the shop. You got Jared is a threat. You got Jared Bowen's a threat in transition. You got Paqueta, you can make something happen out of nowhere. I don't know what other wingers you got.
We ain't got
Callum Wilson can make a meal out of our centre back pairing right now. We've got Chalobah and Achimpong there. Like, we need a centre back. So you guys have the game plan to beat us, but this is where I feel like the mentality now comes in on the players, where it's like, you guys need to learn how to win ugly. It's like we played shit. We played. What separates a good team and a bad team is not losing when you play shit. So, for example, we didn't lose against Palace. I think we're very lucky to come out with a point. The goal getting disallowed, it should have not. I get why it got disallowed, but we got lucky there. We had more of the ball, but I don't think we was out and out the better team. But because we didn't lose the game, I'm not gonna get onto them, because we played shit. We should have lost. We didn't lose. Fair enough. But what separates a good team and a great team is winning when you play shit. Like Arsenal this weekend, like Liverpool against Bournemouth. Do you know, shit like that? Like, it's like, this is what separates us. I don't think we're at the point where we can make that jump yet, where it's like, even when we have bad games, performance-wise, we can still win. So if you guys actually bring it to us in terms defensively and try hit us in transition, I think you guys could probably get a result. Hopefully not. Hopefully not, though. But
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just think our centre backs are too weak. Like, Tadebo's strong, but I think Kilman and Aged, that's a recipe for disaster. I think no matter what striker you have up front, whether it's Delap or João Pedro, that's food. That's food right there. Kilman in the middle of a back three, weak. And Aged got dunked on by somebody who's like 5'8". You got dunked on by Mayenda. It's embarrassing. You're just standing there, you're not jumping. Just because you're a tall centre back doesn't mean you can't jump. Like, I feel like we're so like.
You guys are doing the back three thing, yeah. That's you lot for the rest of the season, you reckon, yeah?
Yeah. That's why I don't get it, because he's meant to be like changing shit around the formation and shit like that. But he only plays one formation with us. He only plays one formation, and we play one winger, and he's up front with another striker. He doesn't get the best out of him, and we've got 3 midfielders, and 2 of them can't pass a fucking football. So nothing makes sense at West Ham. Nothing makes sense. That's why I have no confidence going into this. I don't think it'll be as bad as last season when we were at home, where Lopetegui went man-to-man or anything. But I still think it's going to be so one-sided. I think the midfield is what makes it a big difference. I know Enzo didn't play like good the other day, but you're coming up against James Ward-Prowse. Like, so Caicedo and Enzo are going to have a field day. They're going to have a field day. Like, what do you reckon of your squad then at this current moment in time then? because the transfer window, people seem to like the transfer window from what I've seen, from Chelsea fans. But what have you made of it?
Bro, if the transfer window closed today, I'm calling for the director's head, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like these sporting directors, the truth is, they've already been on thin ice because they promised us that this was a 4-window plan until we're ready to compete and for the league and all of these major trophies, the league, the Champions League, etc. The 4th window closed last August when they failed to get Osimhen and Olise. So we had no striker. January window went back. We still didn't have a striker. Jackson ended up going injured. He was the only striker. He ended up getting injured. So did Mark Gu. So then we had to start playing Neto up top. It was dark. So now this summer window's come in. I think João Pedro, they did well in terms of the Club World Cup, addressing what they needed to strengthen for the tournament. João Pedro essentially came in and won the tournament for us. So they done well on that part. I'm happy with Sanchez, to be honest with you. He's not really popular, but I'm actually happy with Sanchez. I think he's a good shot stopper. He's good at claiming crosses. I think in terms of him on his feet, he gets a lot of criticism for making the odd mistake. But the style of football we play, the ball's always on his feet. It's like Edison and Alisson will naturally have a mistake in them because of the amount of volume that you have with just having the ball on your feet so much. And he's also someone who's like, he's the only guy that no matter how good he is for a month straight, he makes the odd mistake and everyone's calling for his head. It's a bit unfair for him. So I'm the goalkeeper thing, unless there's somebody elite, I'm happy with Sanchez. I don't that's me being honest with you. I feel like we needed to address the left back situation because Kukurea needed depth. We've done that with Hato, fair enough, but now we need a left centre back. There's the fact that Maresca's calling these men out, saying we need a centre back, and they're saying no, it's kind of mad to me. I do think like we are missing Colwell in a sense of just in terms of building up from the back, picking out these passes in playing them in the pockets like these tacticals like to say, Josh didn't really bring that. Chalobah doesn't really bring that sideways passes and that. So when the board are looking around and saying, like the board are saying to him, no, we can't have a centre back out there for him. We ain't bringing in a centre back. We're happy with what we got. And our centre backs are tossing Chalobah, Anselminho, Badger Shield. Like, are you taking the fucking piss, bro? This is the thing. Like, you look at all the top teams in the world, yeah? Arsenal have Gabriel and Saliba. I know John Stones isn't as fit as he usually is, but they got John Stones and Diaz, and they got Garbajal who can play in that position. Liverpool got Konate and Virgil van Dijk. All the top teams. PSG have Patro and Marquinhos. All the top teams in the world have a centre-back pairing which is consistent, firstly, and secondly, that is of high quality. And this is no disrespect to the players, because every time I say something about these players, it gets taken as disrespect. I'm not disrespecting our centre-backs, but they're not at the level that we need to be in terms of being world-class. So when we've got an injury with Colwell, and I think Colwell on pace to actually have a world-class season. He's ended the season well. He had a good Club World Cup tournament. It was a World Cup year. It seemed like he started to really get comfortable in the role that he was playing in. So now him going down is a big issue. And I think even prior to him going down, we still needed a centre-back because we can't trust Fofana in terms of injuries. So we still needed a right centre-back. They loaned out Mamadou Sarr. I don't know who he's, an NPC anyway, but there's a centre-back that they loaned him back out to Strasbourg. So we need a right centre-back because I don't have faith in Fofana being fit for a whole season, especially now that we got Champions League football. And now we need a left centre-back because Colwell's gone down. And the board are saying no. And then on top of that, what did the owners do? They reward this board by giving them a 6-year contract. 6-year contract. And mind you, Xavi Simons hasn't even gone down the line yet. We've been hearing about Xavi Simons for a month straight, and there's no update. Fabrizio says the same shit. Now he's doing this new thing where he's doing it by percentage. Xavi Simons, guys, this week, don't worry, guys. Xavi Simons to Chelsea, 85%, guys. 85%. What are you talking about? We're doing percentages. I bring back the days here when I used to just go on Sky Sports News and see that we signed someone for undisclosed fee, fam. Bring back those. Like this is the thing that he's killed this generation of like ITKs and Twitter journalists and transferred. They've killed the dopamine that comes from signing players now, bro. It's actually when the Xavi Simons thing goes through, he's not even gonna feel the same because we've heard the same thing for a month straight. Just leave it at that. Just announce it when it's done. Do what the NBA players do when that Luka Doncic trades happen. Shams tweet, boom, trade, it's done. There's no rumors, there's nothing. But yeah, Xavi Simons hasn't gone down the line. They're bringing in Garnacho. I don't think we should sell Jackson. In terms of the people we need to get rid of, Raheem Sterling, he's available. You guys need a winger and he wants to stay in London. I think you guys should go for that.
We ain't paying that. We ain't paying that. Leave me out of this Sterling shit.
Wait, you wouldn't take Sterling?
No. What are we doing
Why
here,
would
bro?
cool. I'm gonna list your wingers, yeah. I'm gonna list your wingers because I think you've gone mad. I think you've gone mad.
It's 2025, CB. Come on, bro.
Bro, cool, Max. I hear you, but you're West Ham. So you're telling me West Ham, who employ Lewis Gumerem, Somerville, Bowen, fair enough, he's probably your only high level wing, and he don't even play as a winger these days. He's more of a 9 now, to be honest with you. So you actually have only Somerville and a 17 years old from the Brazilian league, and you're telling me, as a West Ham fan who just finished 17th in the league, you wouldn't take Raheem Sterling.
Would Sterling genuinely be motivated to play for West Ham in 2025 after all the clubs he's just played for? And do you think it's generally a good idea to sign a player on those wages right now?
My bro, I'm taking Sterling. I can't believe you're even. This is a thing. Like, is this how West Ham fans actually do?
No, but hear my point. Do you think Sterling would genuinely want to play for West Ham in 2025? And do you think it's a good idea for West Ham to put him on those wages when we don't even pay people that high?
Do you know what would motivate Sterling to stay to perform at a high level is the fact that this is his opportunity to stay in London and be close to his family. Because if this don't work out, he's gonna start having to consider options like Italian league or Saudi Arabia and all of that, and he's not on that. He wants to stay in London, be close to his family. You know what I'm saying? He's got a real estate company with his wife, all of that type of stuff. So that incentive alone is going to make him want to perform at a high level. As well as that, just having a team where you are the black. If Sterling joined West Ham, I hope you know, like, he's probably the greatest player to ever play for West Ham. Obviously, salute Bobby Moore and them, man.
Wait, what the fuck?
Bro, what do you mean, bro? Sterling is probably one of in terms of attackers, he's up there for top 10 attackers to ever play in the Premier League. Who's like, I salute Bobby Moore and that. I'm not gonna pop him down. Bobby Moore's from Dagenham too, so I'll give him his flowers. Now, if Sterling steps in and puts on a West Ham shirt, who greater than him has put on a West Ham shirt?
Are we saying right now though, or are we saying by name? There's difference.
I'm saying by name as his legacy.
By name,
he's
fair. No, by name, that's fair.
One of the greatest players to ever put on a West Ham kit.
By name, that's fair. But we signed a lot of big names and they haven't turned up so many times. So what's the point?
Such as who? Like, who's your most recent big name signing that flopped?
To be fair, as of recent, we haven't gone down that route, which is why I've been happier than the previous times in the London Stadium. But it's been so many times where we signed 30-year-olds that have previously played for the big clubs or whatever, and they don't turn up on high wages and stuff. Like, you can't keep these players fit. You can't keep these players motivated because they've played for Man City, they've played for Liverpool, they've played for Chelsea. But also on the London thing as well, could you not flip that and be like, he's comfortable in London now. He doesn't need to do anything else. He's with his family. He doesn't need to. He's just there. He's there. Yeah, I'm in London. I don't care.
I think if the West Ham, like, and the only way this West Ham deal gets even entertained, to be honest with you, it'd probably be a loan deal with an option.
That's fair. I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
You probably play half the wages. You know what I'm saying? We probably pay like 150 bags. You pay the rest, the other 200 or something. I don't know how it works. It's half the wages. So he knows if I don't perform here, I'm fucked. I don't see myself staying in London no more because I've played for Arsenal. I've played for Chelsea. If he goes to West Ham, I doubt he goes to Spurs. So really, he has no choice but to try his best. And as well as that, you're forgetting it's a World Cup year. Everyone's gonna you're gonna see.
He ain't got a chance, bro. He ain't got a chance of that, bro.
Thomas Tuchel rates him, bro. Thomas
Tuchel, he rates fucking Henderson right now, so you never know. Jesus Christ.
Tuchel's talent ID is a bit spooky. Don't be surprised if Mason Mount gets a call up, bro. Like, he's one of those ones. So to be honest with you, it's a World Cup year, and it's his last chance to really prove himself in London. Why wouldn't you go for that? Like, he might even end up having a Jesse Lingard type of season for you, and it will be. The thing is, Sullivan is a businessman. He knows if Sterling comes to West Ham, that's putting bums on seats, and that's enough dopamine for the fan base to be like, oh, you know what? I might be excited because there's no excitement right now at the club. generally, I talk to all the West Ham fans. I talk to my older brother. I'm seeing you, man. Like, generally, you, man, have nothing to be excited about.
Yep.
Little loan
Facts.
deal
That's
down
facts.
the road. You know what I'm saying? The other side of London, bring in Sterling, and it changes stuff, bro.
I would take him on a loan. A loan's fine. But I thought you meant we should put him like 20, 30 million down,
No. I
sign him
think
on
if
them
he
high
does,
wages there.
if he has a good season, yeah, slap that 20 million, bro. Slap that 20 million down and bring him in.
I think a loan with option to buy it is the best because you don't have to obligate, you don't have to buy it next season if he shit or whatever. That's calm. That's fair. And by name, that's a great point, to be fair. By name, via legacy, especially in the Premier League era, we ain't had players like that. Like we signed Everett at 37, but that's still by name. If we're going by name, we signed Everett, we signed Chicharito, we signed all these man. Like it's mad. Bro,
That's mad.
Chicharito was there. He was actually alright for us though, to be fair.
You man don't bring stars in, you know. It's actually mad. And I actually feel like you guys have you have the pedigree to bring in stars. Like, I think you got the nice stadium, it's East London, like you represent East London. Like, you've got a lot of culture and history. Top guys have come in. You had obviously it was early in their careers, but you've had Tevez, you've had Mascherano, you've had Lampard, Joe Coles. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've had stars. So I'm surprised that you don't go down that route. I get it because it hasn't worked out in the past. Like, I think the last one you guys did was what, Andy Carroll, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Andy Carroll was fine. Yeah, but he was just too injury prone. He was fine. He was too injury prone. Like, he was good when he played.
Golden boot charge though for Dagenham Redbridge, hopefully.
Hey, I hope so. For the sake of Dagenham Redbridge, because it's been fucking struggling, especially as of recent. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man.
Can't be below the Vanarama National League, bro. Can't be below the Vanarama National League.
That's it's actually mad. It's actually, bro, my dream is to see him in the Prem, bro. At least once.
Oh, that would be
at least
so
once,
cool.
bro.
That would be so cool. That's just a quick little bus route from where I'm from, bro. Quick little bus route to the stadium.
Bro. That'll be good.
I think the problem is with West Ham is like, you know, when you see like a Palace get like Lacroix, you know, when you see a Wolves get an Andre, you know, when you see them like teams around us that are meant to be mid-table relegation fodder or just above relegation fodder get these big names in Europe because the big clubs are like, nah, we won't get them. That's what West Ham should be doing. Like, that's why I was surprised we had a free run out of Hermansen, because I do generally rate him as a keeper, but it's more of those type of players we need to go for that are around Europe and stuff. But the problem is this season, you think Newcastle have been bad. We've been rejected quite a bit. But the problem is our ownership will use that and be like, we tried. No, you got to have bare targets on your list. You can't just have one or two each position and that and then just move on and be like, well, we tried. Because they tried to go for Richard Rios. They had that audacity when Milan were after him. Would you rather go to Milan or Stratford? Like, as simple as that. Simple as that. The only reason why we got to Debo is because Juventus pulled out of the deal. They didn't want to pay for it. But get to Debo. Like, get them caliber type of players where the big clubs will miss it, but they still want their move. They still want their move. That's why Paquetá was great for us at the time. Nobody thought West Ham would get Paquetá. That's why I was so mad. I was so gassed when we got him at the time. And to be fair, overall, as much as I've complained a bit, he's still been a decent signing for us. He literally got the assist for Bowen in the Conference League and cemented his legacy in that. So, fair enough. But at the same time, we need to be doing more of them kind of signings, not just signing everyone's scraps. Like when the big six comes are like, do you want him? Do you want him? We need to stop doing that. Only works out now and then. Like, it's rare you get a Wan-Bissaka who turns up. It's rare because Wan-Bissaka, he just wants to play football. That's a man who just wanted to be in London and just wanted to play football. The pressure's off him, and he's like, fuck it, I'll play. That's the type of signings I like. Like Wan-Bissaka's been immense. He's been one of the few
how does it feel, when you see clubs like Aston Villa, who 5 years ago was in the Championship, Newcastle 3 years ago was in a relegation battle. They got taken over by the Saudis. They were 19th in the league. You see these teams, and they've just leapfrogged you, like, to the point where they're winning domestic trophies in the UK, in England. They're playing Champions League football. You guys obviously had the Europa League semi-final, which was a great achievement. I was happy for you guys, to be honest with you. I wanted you guys to win that trophy, man. And as Chelsea, I'll say that, bro. It's fucked, but it's true. So seeing these lot leapfrog you the way they have, attracting the players like Bruno Guimaraes, for example, top stars are coming and joining their teams, bro. Aston Villa, fair enough, they've brought in fucking Asensio and Rashford and all of these man here, and it's like, bro, How have you allowed these man to leapfrog you the way they have in the last couple of years? Your sporting project is an absolute mess. But let's actually just go. Let's start from when you guys won the Conference League. Yeah,
Yeah.
David Moyes is fair enough. I look at David Moyes and Eddie Howe as the same tier type of manager. I don't think there's a big gap. Like Eddie Howe, he gets better PR because he's better looking than him. That's the thing. You need to actually just be honest as football consumers. The majority of people who consume football are they like people that they fancy, bro. He's better looking.
Yeah.
If David Moyes looked like Chabi Alonso, he'll be getting mad prop. That's just what they're on. So I look at Eddie Howe and David Moyes as the same tier type of manager. I'll be honest. So cool. You had the Conference League project. You won the Conference League. You had at the time Paqueta's there, Bowen's there. You brought in Kudus now. I was looking at this like, okay, you guys got a serious foundation. You need a six really that could play the register role a bit more and progress the ball and all of that. I think Alvarez was a bad move, but I don't understand how it got to this in the space of 3 years, 3 years. That is mad to me. And then you look at the mid years. Like, why are Bournemouth finishing higher than you in the league? Comfortably, they're a better sporting project than you. And they're selling players at a better rate, like the Hoysons and the Solankes, and they're staying competitive. Why are Brentford better than you, man? Why are Brighton better than you, man? You've had the maddest head start. You haven't dropped down to the championship in almost over a decade now, bro. There's no reason for this.
You know what the problem is with that? When we were good under Moyes was the only manager at the time that, like, cool, he didn't have control of transfers because he didn't want to. So he got the best out of the squad that he had. When he started wanting to add and got control of the transfer windows, that's when it fucked up. It was the recruitment side. Even Damien mentioned it in the chat. It wasn't necessarily the tactics all the time. It was the transfer side. When you're adding upon that and then you try and change the tactics on that, he couldn't evolve when he was at the club. So he denied Julian Alvarez at West Ham because Antonio was there and he didn't want competition. He likes 19 people in the fucking squad. So he did that to himself. The problem is, Villa, Newcastle, the sporting directors are aligned with the manager. Even Bournemouth, even though they ain't got P's, they still recruit really well. Nobody saw Hoyson. Nobody saw Zabani. Nobody saw Kirkes apart from Alkmaar. And when I watched Kirkes against us, I was like, this is a guy we need to buy. And obviously we didn't. But this is why we are left behind. Because the ownership, sporting director, and manager are all aligned at the time. And then when you leave David Moyes, you get the odd side and you get the market opportunity in Kudus. They only got him because it's a market opportunity. This is how these owners run. They don't run that and be like, we need to get like a Paquetá level player all around the pitch. They don't run like that. They're just like, that's an opportunity. We'll go and do that. We'll spend here. We're not going to spend all around the squad. We spend money wrong. It's not even like we don't spend money mad. Sometimes we do, but it's just wrong. Sometimes it's too topsy-turvy. That's the problem. Bournemouth have recruited right. As soon as they get a replacement in, it's because they know a player's gone. Trafford came in as soon as Kirkes basically left. So it's like 1 in, 1 out straight away. We don't do that. We buy across the preseason so nobody settles with each other. And that's the problem. Do you know what's so mad, CB? Do you know what? This is why I get mad. Because when I was younger, my dad used to like show me the tapes of the FA Cups that we won from when like 80s and 60s and that. And it would be like, and then I was like, cool, the FA Cup's sick. That's me as a kid. West Ham have done fuck all in the FA Cup. West Ham have done nothing in domestics. I've seen Palace win their first trophy ever. I've seen Newcastle win their first trophy in God knows how long. But people want to tell me you can't do it all. You can't go for Europe and win a cup. Yes, you fucking can. Yes, you fucking can. If you're serious in the domestic cups, you can get to the semi-final minimum. At least I can say you tried, go and win it next season. We don't try. We don't get past round 5. We don't get past round 5. I've seen West Ham lose to Sheffield Wednesday. I've seen West Ham lose to Wigan. I've seen West Ham go to extra time with Kidderminster and allow Declan Rice to do the job and score just to save us from Kidderminster, bro. And that was when we were good under Moyes. This is bad. The FA Cup like history that we have in recent times is dark. And we've won 3 of them. We've won more than some other clubs. We've won 3. I know we're not the biggest club in the world, but we're not like the tiniest club in the world either. So you need to go and win FA Cups, bruv. Yeah, we're not
small. Like I'll always say this, bro. I rate West Ham. I actually rate West Ham, bro. At the end of the day, man's local as well. Like I actually rate West Ham. I don't think you man are a small club at all. So even hearing this about your domestics is true. One of my earliest ever, obviously you lost that final, but my earliest ever FA Cup memory was you lot against Steven Gerrard, fam, getting moved to outside. He was moving mad that day, bro.
Yeah,
He was just spraying it. But bro, like that's my earliest memories. That's an FA Cup final. Do you know what I'm saying? That's when I actually looked at West Ham. I was like, oh, raw. West Ham's. My brother cried that day. I was watching that final. He was crying and shit. But I'm looking at that like raw. Like you lot was in domestic cup finals. I don't even see you guys. You're not even a threat. You get knocked out in the third round and shit, bro. That is mad. It's actually true, bro. Because look at Brighton, for example. Brighton under De Zerbi was in FA Cup semi-finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Sheffield United made one.
Sheffield
United made the semi-final, bro. It's ridiculous.
It's like, what's going on? So then, cool. But if that's the case now, yeah, I think that is your best bet this season to throw everything at the cups, because as well as that, you can get European qualification through doing that. The league right now is dead. I'm telling you right now, bro. The league for you lot are fucked. You man are gonna be in a relegation battle. I hate to say it to you, bro. I hope I'm gonna love every second of it because you hired Potter. Because you've hired Potter, there's no sympathy for me. I would usually be like, oh, you know what? Like, there's certain clubs in the Prem like I think should never ever go down. Like when Everton were about to go down and Lampard came to save them, he done the Lord's work. Everton should never go down. West Ham should never go down. These are teams that I just look at as heritage. Like seeing Sunderland back in the league means something to me. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the certain clubs that just belong here. You guys shouldn't ever go down. I don't think you go down, to be honest with you. You're not that shit. But you're gonna be in the bottom half of the table for majority of the season. I think you throw the kitchen sink at the cups. That's all you really have to do. Like, it's a shame. Big up touchline facts, bro. I appreciate it. But I think it's a shame, bro, that it's gone to this because, like we've acknowledged, you lot have actually been on a good trajectory, in my opinion, for the last. Let's just go from the last decade, from the Payet run, from the Jesse Lingard era to fucking last 4 years, Europa League semis. You've actually been pretty decent up until the last 2 years. I don't know what's the fuck's happened, but allowing Crystal Palace to leapfrog you is madness. Crystal Palace should not be a better not even just a better team on paper, but a better sporting project than you. As West Ham, you should be looking at that and saying, what the fuck is happening? Aston Villa leapfrogging you the way they done. You should look at that and say, what the fuck is happening? How have they come in, brought in a top manager like Emery? Because as much as you guys could say, like Sullivan, he doesn't want to spend money, all of this, at the end of the day, when him hiring Lopetegui was his version of, I want to bring in a top, highly rated manager. That was his attempt of doing that. So Aston Villa have brought in a top manager and an Emery. They're bringing in guys like Asensio, Marcus Rashford, guys that you would have never, ever thought would play for you. Everton had Carlo Ancelotti for them. James Rodriguez was playing for Everton at Goodison Park. So you're telling me you man are serving me up Lopetegui and Graham Potter, and you have one winger and this Luis Gumire, what the fuck he's called, from Palmeiras, bro, and you lot are happy with that as West Ham fans? Like, there's no outrage, there's no protest, there's no banners, there's no nothing. The window's still open. If you guys used your voice as a fan base, you could put a lot of pressure down on them and make them lot do something for the window. Whether it's a panic buy, whether it's something, because as presently constructed, this is your team right now. You lot are fucked. I'm sorry to say it, bro. You're fucked. You have one winger who plays as your striker, basically, bro. Folkbrook is shit. Callum Wilson on a free is your marquee signing. You sold your best player to your biggest rivals on a cut price. And then you've got this cuck, uncircumcised, small dick Graham Potter as your manager. Shout out to my uncircumcised people. Nothing personal there, but I just hate Potter. But no, I swear, like,
listen, bro, this is the problem. Even with Emery, Villa, do you know what they did? They got him in compensation. They bought compensation. He was in Villarreal, middle of the season. I was like, you know what? Come to us. We got a project for you. Fuck Gerrard off. Unai Emery, come and manage us. This is the problem with West Ham. You let Glasner and Palace overtake you. There's a Sainsbury's in Chadwell High Road that's bigger than their fucking stadium. The fucking Sainsbury's in Chadwell Heath is bigger than Selhurst Park. I'm not trying to hear it. Why have they overtaken us? Why? And I don't get it, because they don't spend money either. They haven't bought anyone apart from a backup left back. They're only buying because Eze's going. But at least they're coached well and they recruit well when they do recruit. So if you're not going to spend money, every signing has to hit. Every signing has to hit. The problem is when West Ham have like a Payet, they build him around with like Zaza up front, fucking Caleri up front, and Milson Fernandez with his dyed blonde hair. Fucking no right back. Cole Jenkinson was at right back in the first season while Payet was there. He was getting benched for James Tompkins at right back, who's a centre back. This is what we build around. When you have Jared Bowen, you're building him around with Ward-Prowse, James Ward-Prowse, Guido Rodriguez. This is the problem. When you have a good player at West Ham, you build them around with shit. It's always diamond in the dirt. Come save us. Save your complex every single year. Every single year there's one. Even with Declan Rice, yeah? People disrespect Declan Rice. The only reason why people like Cresswell, the only reason why people like Soucek, the only reason why people like even Dawson got away with the shit they got away with was because of Declan Rice. This guy was saving us every single time we hit on a counter, every time we needed a last-minute tackle, every time we needed a last-minute header, like to header away from the box. He was there. He was everywhere. But the problem is save your complex. And when he goes, who do you replace him with? Alvarez and Ward-Prowse. Both 10 times slower than he is. They're not as mobile. Can't defend counterattacks. Can't drive with the ball. People cuss Declan Rice. But he did a lot. He saved people's careers. He was basically playing left back for the last 2 years because Cresswell was shit.
You're a Declan Rice guy, yeah?
Well, yeah, because at West Ham, every West Ham fan's a Declan Rice guy.
No, but I talked to my West Ham man that hate his guts, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, like proper hate.
I don't know any West Ham fans that hate him, bro.
Swear, I know quite a few. I might even put you guys together, to be honest with you, bro. I might put you guys together.
All right, say less. Listen, people, we're nearly on 1.3K, so go and smash it.
No, 100%. Make sure you man smash that. Well, what I was gonna say, yeah. Oh damn! I lost my train of thought. You know, you're right about the savior complex, though. I'm deep in it now. From Tevez, your Bobby Zamora days, Lingard was your savior at one point. Payet. You always have that one player that's that, and then there's a bunch of shit around him. It's true. You don't actually build on the talents that you have around yourselves. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. That's a very good point. I never looked at it like that with West Ham.
Yeah.
Score predictions. Chat to me, bro.
3-0 Chelsea. There's nothing to think about here. We're not going to score. We don't progress the ball. We get hit on a turnover. We're in space quite a lot. I'm relying a lot on Dufa, Wan-Bissaka, and Tadibo. You better cover for again.
Do you know why you like another reason? This is like reason 98 why Graham Potter would probably never see heaven. He's playing Wan-Bissaka as a right wing back.
Yeah, that's the problem. We need a right centre back. We need a winger at wing back, bro.
Moving mad. He's playing Wan-Bissaka as a right wing back, yeah, with no wingers. So he don't even have like that, bro. What am I watching?
Exactly,
here,
bro. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm getting pissed off. We had a pre-season for this. But yeah, I'm saying 3-0, man. We get hit on the turnover, bro. We're getting hit on the turnover multiple times. That midfield battle is genuinely bullying. Genuinely bullying. But yeah, what about you, bro? What are you saying? Score prediction.
If you guys play as open as you did, obviously it was a different manager, different system, man to man. The way you did last time we came to your stadium, my God, bro, I think this is gonna be what starts our season. Like, gets us started, get some goals, confidence in. I think we get 3 or 4. I don't think you play like that though. I think Potter's gonna take this game very seriously. He knows he's under pressure with that loss to Sunderland. If you play like you played against Sunderland, we'll smoke you. I think you man sit back. To be honest with you, I'll probably put it as a 2-1, maybe 2 goals. I don't see us scoring bare goals. To be honest with you, I'll say 2-1, 2-1. I'll take still.
I need West Ham to prove me wrong. I need West Ham to prove me wrong. But whenever I've said that, oh my days, that's never ever worked out. Never in a million years has that worked out. But yeah, listen, CB, thank you for coming on, bro. It's been great having you on the YouTube channel, bro. And yeah, for the people that don't know you, or the people that haven't subscribed already, what have you got coming up?
What do I have coming up? I got Brazil stream. I'm doing a Brazil IRL stream next week. I'm gonna be in Brazil. We're gonna go watch a Flamengo game in person. So we're gonna do an IRL stream in Brazil. Make sure you guys tune in. Obviously, we're gonna be doing a watch along on Friday. Do you do watch alongs?
I do, but when I'm at the game Friday though.
Yeah, the game. Yeah. Fair enough. It's a home game. Yeah, so I'm doing a watch along for Friday. Brazil the week after. Champions League IRL streams. Make sure you guys are there. I'm gonna be at AFCON as well, December. Make sure you guys are there. Old Trafford stream. I'm gonna be in Old Trafford on the 20th for Old Trafford stream away day. Make sure you guys are there. And yeah, man, I'm just trying to just do a bunch of different stuff these days, bro. I'm trying to like think outside the box. What I do now, I've got you on the spot in front of everyone. I want to
Yeah.
do a show, man, a West Ham show weekly, bro. Chelsea, West Ham, we just talk, bro. Because I'm mad invested in West Ham. I watch because of my brother and my brethren. I actually watch most of the West Ham games as well. So it'll be nice, bro. It'll be a nice sit down. I rate what you got going on here, man. I rate your movement. So man, that'll be good, bro. I don't know your scheduling. We can talk about that in some free time, but let's make something like that happen, bro. I like this conversation. I'm flu and everything like.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this conversation. Really enjoyed the chat contributing as well. We'll definitely do a show. We've got to talk off camera. Big up to the chat as always. We're gonna redirect over to Hooks. So go and say Mike's rating Hooks' chat. And yeah, we'll catch you man in a bit. Take care and peace.